Hey, this is a quick prologue. Prologue. Anyway, this is gonna be a 2-day video because yesterday we kind of lost our minds and did like 23.5 miles. So this is 2 days, not one.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Well, here's your morning view from the view spot.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
We're about, I don't know, a mile out of Peck, I guess.
Yeah.
Got some rather disturbing news about the good possibility of us having to come off trail in a few days.
Yeah.
So, looks like we may have an amended 2020 Corona through hike, but we're going to remain positive and see if we can't figure out a way to make this happen, but it's not looking very good right now according to our sources.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that at least to get, we've got like lodging and plans through Hot Springs unless something goes sideways.
Yeah.
And we were going to take a 0 in Hot Springs anyway.
Right.
So, you know, maybe something will happen between now and then, but we might as well walk. Yeah, they said that, Jimmy said that the ACC is starting to tell people to get off, so if they close all the state parks, I mean, we
other people, new people
not to start.
I guess.
So, you know, timing in life is everything, but we're trying not to get too down. We learned a lot, you know, we'll talk about it probably in the wrap up, but you know, it is what it is. It'd be nice if the Smokies would show us a little bit of love and let us see a mountain before we leave. But yeah, shelter was good last night. We didn't get wet. Nice bunch of folks. Everybody kind of going through the same thing we are. One thing you didn't plan for when you planned your through hike was a pandemic. So, okay, off we go.
See you, kids.
Well, on happier positive news, we made 10%. And that sticks no matter what else happened.
Can't take it away from us.
Can't, I mean, the views
and
are
they
still.
Can't take that view away.
I'm telling you, that is breathtaking. Yeah, we were just talking about it. We might as well walk. This morning we got up 15.5 miles. We slept good. Nothing hurt. Nobody was taking, you know, anti-inflammatories. So it took about 3 weeks to get in the groove. And so
here we are.
We know we can do it.
We can do it.
It's not going to look like what we thought it was going to look like, but, you know, it ain't over. We may be doing flip-flop, hopscotch, yo-yo. No.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Not a yo-yo, but maybe a leapfrog and hopscotchy, whatever. Okay. We're going to go to Try Corner and have coffee and second breakfast. We just did that for us. So when we're home, wishing we were back on the AT, we'll listen to that bird. Yeah, a little obstacle. I had to straddle it. It was wet.
Yeah, it is wet.
Now we're about a little under a mile and a half from the shelter. It's just not clearing up. So, what's the word?
Well, it's the last 6,200 foot peak of the Smokies. I wouldn't take a souvenir rock from up here because you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
I'm not going to do that.
See a lot more birds. I can't remember. Did we talk about the grouse?
Yeah.
We did? Okay, never mind. If we didn't talk about the grouse, oh well. Oh, it's really pretty. The climb wasn't bad. It was like 300 feet, but it was real gradual. So, remember a while back when Rich said that was the last time we were over 6,000 feet?
Lied.
Yeah, that's a big lie. We've been back over it at least twice. So, right now, we're about 6,300. We stopped at Try Corner. Water source was right there, which was awesome because we needed so much water. And we had coffee with instant breakfast, and we had our hot meal of the day. Plan is to go to Cosby, eat dinner, rest up, and make it to Davenport Gap. Bonnie and Clyde are on the run. Right, Clyde?
Let's run. Let's go.
I know this won't do it justice, But man, are we in a pretty section.
It's so green, it's like it's electric.
Yeah, the green almost looks neon. It's so bright. And right now the trail's really nice, which we're happy for, because this is going to be our first 20 if we pull it off. But yeah, I think Rich said we had one more big up, bud, or this is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're done with the ups. You know.
About right around 6,300 feet.
And we've been seeing some pretty stuff. A lot more birds, squirrels, but you know, no views. Can't have those.
Cold up here.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. He got real cold again, and it's funny, the wind will pick up and then it'll stop. But we've seen very little sun. But you know, overall, we were lucky with weather in the Smokies.
Big time.
So we'll take it.
That's a big ass lake.
Well, yeah, I'll have to edit that out. We're not sure how much of this you can see, but we have a marginal view. Civilization. Yeah, we're staying out of those places.
Staying away from people.
Y'all people have cooties down there.
Yeah, you cutified people.
Yeah. We're going to stay up here with the bears.
Hey, bear.
Hey, bear. Okay, well, that's pretty. We're going to keep going. So we just stopped and had an early dinner at Cosby Knob. Nice shelter. Oh, that's so pretty up there. We just wanted to go ahead and get down to Davenport Gap. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake, because we have 6.9 left to go. It'll be our first 20. Actually, it'll be more than 20. But that way, we're positioned to get into Standing Bear for a Nero, so we can resupply and book it out of there if everything works out the way we're hoping it will. Very bizarrely, we saw some section hikers today who didn't seem to have a care in the world. So we're still processing everything. Right, bud?
Let's rock it, babe.
Okay, we gotta go now. Very nice water right outside of Cosby Knob. We are probably like 4 miles from Davenport Gap. We're just climbing up on a rock. Not sure I'm gonna go up on that rock. Is it worth coming up on that rock?
Hand me your phone.
Okay, here, I'll hand you the phone. I can't hand you the phone. Okay, so now we're up on top of the rock, and it's a pretty view. We didn't go up the Chamomile Tower because A, we didn't realize it was there, and B, we've still got a good ways to go. We didn't want to push it. So it sure is pretty up here.
Best view of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice evening. We are about half a mile, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe a little more, but
from the shelter.
Close.
Yeah.
Good view.
Yeah, down to 29.78. We've been dropping like a rock. If we had had our choice, we would have stayed at Cosby and come out probably tomorrow, but things are just not normal anymore, so we decided to push, and this will be our first plus 20, so go us. In fact, my watch just turned over 20 now. Wow, big day. We obviously have some explaining to do, which we'll do at some point tonight.
See,
yeah.
Stop explaining to do.
Yeah, because we're fighting the dark. Here's the box. Just a minute. Rich, hold this, because I have the permits, bud.
All right.
Okay.
Stick them in there. Sorry about the finger.
That's all
Say
right.
hi, buddy.
Hi, I'm so dragging butt. Here they are. Nobody ever asked to see them. Old people apparently don't sneak into the park. Only young people. I'm keeping this bag because I like it. Okay.
The Smokies have been epic. We'll add that up in our roundup
Bye,
tonight.
Smokies. See you later.
Love you, mean it.
No, not really.
Thanks for the great weather, Smokies.
Yeah, I mean, that part was good. Okay, now let's go figure out what we're doing.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Up the trail, show them the last trail coming out of the Smokies.
There we go.
Bye, Smokies.
Bye, Smoky
Love
Bear.
you, mean it.
Well, you probably can't see it, but we're night hiking. Let me put my light on it. There's water. And we're crossing it 1,000,000 times. Big fun. So now we're walking on a road, which I assume is going to take us over the interstate, or under the interstate, or have something to do with the interstate. And if you haven't figured it out by now, we're attempting to get to Standing Bear, where we will camp, and if they're not there, we'll pay them in the morning. So, this is the current situation. We are in the upstairs of the treehouse at Standing Bear. We have Babbling Brook down below that we are listening to. So yeah, this is our digs.
Slept good.
Yeah, slept good. Maria fed us last night. We had quesadillas that were amazing. That's the road that we walked in the pitch darkness. So yeah, and we, doing laundry, did a little resupply. Gonna rest up and hit it tomorrow to head to Hot Springs. Hi there.
Hi, kids. It's about 1:30.
On what day?
Thursday the 19th.
Which is day 22.
Yep.
And this is wrap up
Yep.
of really day yesterday because, there was no way that was going to happen.
No, we didn't get here till, I don't know,
8:30?
Yeah.
And by the time we got checked into the treehouse, got a much needed shower.
Yeah, shower was good. Shower good.
8 beef quesadillas.
Yeah, quesadillas was good.
They were good.
Yeah.
And it was like almost 11 by the time we got in bed. So, no, it didn't happen.
Yeah, we were pretty cooked.
But yeah, 23 miles. What the heck?
I don't know how that happened, but it was a beautiful evening to hike.
Nice.
It was the weather was perfect. It was nice and just the weather was great, and so
I kind of hate that we missed that section in the dark because even though it was a nightmare crossing the water that many times in the dark, it would have been fun in the daylight.
that little section between the end of the Smokies and
Here.
I-40 is
Yeah.
why they have you crossing that creek like 4 times is beyond me, but
It might have made more
know,
sense if it was daylight. Who knows?
it doesn't make any sense to anybody why that's
So-
like that, but
Yeah. So current situation, Rich got an owie on the bottom of his foot. We might have headed out of here late this afternoon otherwise, because we know we need to get on to Hot Springs.
Yeah, we're going to reassess our situation, whether we're going to continue or not in Hot Springs, see what's going on with the real world out there.
And there's so much to consider. I mean, we realize that other people's safety is a factor, but so is ours, and we're being really cautious out here. And I honestly, in my heart of hearts, think we're more likely to contract it back home. But we just don't know.
Yeah, but problem is with the government shutdowns and everything
Right.
like that,
And we have a mutual pinky, that our through hike, when we start it back up, we don't care when it is. This counts, darn it.
yeah, I mean,
Because I don't want to have to do that 200 and what'll end up being 78 miles again.
yeah,
We're old. We
yeah.
get a mulligan. But
yeah, we'd have to do that one section for the 3rd time.
yeah, no, that's a hard pass.
Yeah.
I say that, but you watch. But yeah, I mean, realistically, is there going to be, once we go home, is anybody going to be back on trail this year? Who knows? All we can do is hope and pray that there's some progress made with this virus for everybody's sake. Not just the hikers, for everybody's sake, because we're hearing a lot of sadness. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
this has disrupted the entire economy of the world. So, yeah.
And it's in, a lot of hikers that we've talked to, it's like, you should be out here thinking about all kinds of great stuff, and you're so busy worrying about,
Well, I mean,
that.
look, a lot of people are, listening to other hikers here at Standing Bear. Some of them are so totally unconcerned about this.
Yeah.
It's like not even really on their radar.
And a lot of people are just going to hike until they can't hike anymore.
Yeah.
So, but, we stayed out of Gatlinburg. We in the normal world, we might have gone ahead and gone into town. If we weren't dealing with all this, we'd have run into town and gotten a hotel and done all the things. But, we were happy to be here, and
We're doing a few less of the things.
yes, but hey, I got to throw a stick for a dog. It's, and again, in a non-virus world, this place would be a hoot. But so we're hiding out in the treehouse.
Yeah, Standing Bear's got pretty much everything
Character,
you need.
yeah.
It's got a lot of character.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of fluff.
No
fluff. A little fluff.
If if you haven't used a washboard and you're coming here, you might want to brush up on that skill.
Yeah, because that's how you're washing your clothes. They've got a dryer and a washboard.
And a washboard was
Which
hilarious.
I mean, like for the darn tough socks, it gets so damn nasty. You can't.
Said the guy who did not use the washboard, by the way.
I offered I offered a lot of moral support.
Yeah, it worked.
I did.
But anyway, we're gonna go eat something because
we're gonna have like
hiker hunger has begun.
Yeah, we're gonna have like I think a frozen pizza or something. We did our first swoop through the resupply little store they have here.
And made some critical errors. So there's some holes in our options, so we have to go back and buy more.
We didn't really make a list before we went, so we just got what we knew we needed and thought we'd fill in the rest once we threw everything all over the bed, which, you should see the rest of the bed. It's
there, see?
Yeah. It's like a bomb went off in here, but...
Yeah. But so then, we're going to be in Hot Springs in 2.5, 3 days, and we've got safe haven there that, we need to firm it up. And then we'll either be exiting or maybe there'll be some news.
So let's talk about our little, since this is our wrap up and our last bit of the Smokies, let's talk about our Smoky experience a little bit. And, what we think about the Smokies and how that went.
I except for the fact that we couldn't see most things, I enjoyed it.
The hiking of the Smokies, I think, is a fairly good physical challenge in a few places. Thunder Head Mountain and Rocky Top, that little section there, I think for me was the most challenging, most difficult. But the elevations were a little weird, being up that high of up around 6,000 feet, and the temperature changes was kind of strange. We were very, 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 very blessed, lucky, and fortunate for the warmth that we had through the Smokies. We didn't. It wasn't cold and snowy and icy and stuff like that.
And the trails are good. I mean, for the most part, the trails were very well maintained.
Right.
We had to go over some blowdowns that last little bit, but
I would say the biggest thing about the Smokies, I think, for most folks coming, is to be very, very cautious about the weather. We used the Klingman's Dome forecast to check worst case scenario because it's the highest in elevation to make sure we were prepared. And that seemed to work out pretty good because it never was quite as cold as the Klingman's thing, because that's quite a few feet higher than most of the rest of the Smokies. So that'd be my advice for anybody coming through there.
Yeah, and the shelters weren't that bad. I mean, and it's, if we hadn't been dealing with coronavirus, the shelters wouldn't have been that bad at all. I mean, they're dusty, and they're going to make you sneeze and cough, and right now everybody freaks out when anyone sneezes and coughs, but we survived. But I guess we should probably, hit the high points because this is getting long, especially since it's a 2-dayer.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. I thought it was really pretty up there. A lot of the moss. The grouse was really cool. Laurel saw her first grouse. She happened up on one right after, and go her. She did her first night hike in the rain up there, and then another night hike coming in the Standing Bear. She had never done any before, and I told her that when it wasn't raining like that and like foggy and smoggy, it would be a lot better, and it was. It's just that who starts their first night hiking experience in the fog and driving rain and all that coming into.
That would be me.
And then that thing coming up in the Newfound Gap parking lot was awesome. I mean, the rain and the cold and the wind, and Jimmy just saved our lives and threw us in the back of his truck.
Yeah, that was some good
Gave
coffee.
us coffee and ho-hos, man, and it was like a miracle, I'll tell you. We were just, and then we just took off from there, and that was one of my highlights of the Smokies. I think was seeing them and. Coming up, it was just the weather was so awful when we came up out of there. It completely changed our attitude about things. It was just awesome.
But and only other advice before I say we need to shut it down is take more pictures.
I mean, the weather was the fog and the mist and the rain and the weather was so bad we couldn't get a lot of videos up there, and
still pictures. So
it just there wasn't, you were head down just cruising in the fog.
So I'm going to try to do my best to enjoy these next 3 days in case they're our last 3 days, and that's all we're going to do. So thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll at least get this scheduled before we leave because phone's been non-existent. Yeah,
well, we have a little bit of kind of Wi-Fi here. It's up and down a little bit, but it works.
But we got to go. This is getting way
long.
long.
See you, kids.
Bye.